Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. I guess for some of you, if you're in Australia, it might be Monday. Is it Monday? Probably. Anyway, good morning. I am Allie, and if you're new to my channel, The Inner Gaze was created almost 3 years ago. It was a project that I wanted to get on and just share my journey, share my experience with different healing modalities, and talk about the ascension process and spiritual journeys and make friends along the way. And it's been about 10 months or so since I made my last video. Sorry if I've been dark for a while. I really just haven't been feeling inspired to make a video. I look like a rock star. Those are not my guitars. But this morning, I felt a nudge, a pretty powerful one at like 7 a.m. and I haven't really slept very well, so sorry if I'm kind of dragging. But part of the reason why I haven't felt inspired to come on and talk about the ascension journey or anything related to spirituality in the last 10 months is because I've been going within and dealing with the real world. We're all still stuck at home to varying degrees, experiencing the pandemic. There's been a lot that's happened in the world that had required a lot of my energy and attention. Personal healing and issues that have been coming up a lot, since November. Just a lot of shadows being exposed and, having to deal with my own stuff. So I haven't really felt, compelled to come on and talk about my journey or help anyone really, because I just didn't have the bandwidth or emotional energy to talk about it. And if I'm being fully transparent, part of the reason why I have not really felt inspired to come on is because I've been feeling really just turned off by a lot of the things going on in the spiritual community. Namely, this sort of dangle the carrot thing that happens in the spiritual community. And I'm sure if you've had an awakening, you've come across some sort of idea that, this ascension process that we're going through. And let me state, I do believe we're going through an ascension process. I do believe this is a time for spiritual awakening. And when I first awakened, the idea that some, big event, solar flash was coming, or, this great event that would sort of wake everyone up and change all the systems, and, people would start acknowledging their spiritual gifts and connecting with each other and all that jazz. And it felt very true to me when I first awakened. And actually that was like about 3 years ago, today or tomorrow. But what I've noticed is that I felt really turned off by the spiritual community. A lot of these like prophecies of, claiming to know what's going to happen, whether it was, something related to QAnon, or just a lot of talk about dark forces, and like it started getting really like weird to me. And I think I've noticed a pattern in the community, and I've noticed it within myself specifically, that when we're on this path and we are hoping for a specific outcome, like an event or a twin flame union, or the government to step in and, Sarah and Sarah, I don't even know what that is, but, this global reset, the fall of the cabal, mass arrests, whatever, whatever it is that you're waiting for, when it doesn't come, like, the mind creates this dissonance. And what it does is it tends to double down on the belief of this alternate outcome that's not in your reality. And it's dissociative. And I've noticed that I didn't feel resonant anymore with a lot of the things that people in the spiritual community have been talking about. All this predictive nonsense, trying to explain the unexplainable, trying to explain away COVID as like a hoax or whatever. It was just very like daunting to me, and it just didn't feel like a flavor that I wanted to play in anymore. When I awakened, I saw a lot of beautiful things, and I saw that we are creating our reality. We are all connected. I loved the aspect of it that was, our abilities to heal our own traumas and to move forward and understand our deep unconscious biases and patterns and heal those things and have a different experience in our reality and change our perspective, align to new relationships and jobs that are fulfilling. All those things I thought and do think are very beneficial to anyone experiencing a life journey where they're self-aware and they're taking on these things, and it's brave and it's difficult, and that's what drew me to it. But I myself was following a dangling carrot for a really long time, and you can't heal or do all this work for the promise of something to happen in the future that's not now. There's a lot of talk around law of attraction and manifestation, and what I've found is that yes, we are manifesting our reality. Everything we see on the world stage is a macro manifestation of what's happening on an internal individual level. And what I'm seeing is just this division everywhere, even within the spiritual community. A lot of folks thinking that they're on this higher timeline and other people aren't, and people are living in fear because of COVID, and if you don't take your mask off and hug people, you're living in fear, and you're just going to be in this old timeline, and blah 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 blah. It's a lot of divisive, like, I'm better than, or it's just an energy. It didn't resonate with me. It didn't feel right. And I think it has to do with this dissonance that we're feeling internally. This dissonance with, I have subscribed to this truth of a future that's going to change, of this massive change of events, this great awakening that's going to change the society and life that I live. It's going to make my life easier and simpler. And that's not here right now. So a lot of folks are doubling down, and including myself, I had done this, doubling down on a reality that's not present. And because you yourself are doubling down on a reality that's not here, that just means that people are disembodied, separated from their present self, separated from source. I think I shared a little piece in my last video around love in particular, and how my path had always brought in unrequited experiences and heartbreak and non-committal things, and I was always down on my situation and down on my reality, and always very hopeful for a future, but the reality shows you what is lacking inside. And if past lovers are running from you all the time, that just means that on some level, at least it meant for me, I was running from myself, that I was the one not committing to the things that I wanted in the now. I was the one assigning happiness to a future date and point, that wasn't in my present reality. And I was lucky enough to get to a point in my journey where I was kind of just fed up with chasing this dangling carrot of hopes of something happening in the future. And when I decided that the carrot was mine to begin with, and that I deserve to experience something, and there's no reason why I couldn't experience a divine partnership and true love right now, it was like, boom. You know, I met the love of my life, and things changed very rapidly. But it wasn't until I let go of assigning my happiness to a future point that wasn't now that I was able to manifest, embodied, and experience that reality in my now. I mean, I see all this happening with QAnon. I see all this predictive stuff, like, you know, reading the energies. And I'm not here to put anyone down. I see a lot of leaders in the spiritual community using this predictive weapon. I consider it a weapon. To grift, if I'm being frank. Somewhere inside them, they've decided that this is, you know, a mission of theirs to awaken the masses or change something or teach or help or save. And it's that prediction that they've doubled down on. They depend on for money. They depend on followers and likes for money. And to some degree, I say, I accept that that's part of their journey, and I accept that those who are drawn to those spiritual leaders, gurus, or whatever, that is part of their journey to unravel and unwind. But it's no better than the earth that we're currently playing in. You know, it's no better than the reality that we're sitting in. When desperation and cliffhangers are the hook that, you know, that bait people. We need to stop chasing this carrot, in my opinion, this carrot of this ascension being something big and immediate, and it's going to change reality in all sense of the word. Big or small, I mean, whether this is ascension related or just regular life related, if you are literally waiting for some authority, power, government official, you know, to get on the mic and say, hey, everything has changed. You know, we can start living life on new earth. If you're waiting for the government to lift lockdown procedures, if you're sitting there thinking, oh, we're headed towards a new world order, blah, 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 blah. You're sitting in fear, and you're also not living in the present, like accepting the reality. And I kind of like annoyed with myself that I'm complaining about other people right now. But I'm coming onto my page just to express my personal convictions with the New Age movement, this New Earth chapter. And I want New Earth. I'm not gonna say I don't want this reality to take shape one day, and that I don't want unity consciousness, and that I don't want people to suddenly believe in their innate sense to heal themselves and connect with everything, every life form that exists, connect with our interdimensionality. That's freaking awesome. I love it. But what if that wasn't some point in the future? Like, what if we can manifest from a reality that's similar in this now? What if this ascension is happening in exactly the right timing, and that it's already occurring and it's happening gradually and gently and uniquely for every individual that experiences it? Would you be okay with that? What are you depending on? What are you waiting for to change before you can be happy and accept this world? And there are things that really shouldn't be accepted in this world. There are things that should not be tolerated. Racism, sexism, violence, narcissism. Those are things that we need to stand up to. And in order to do that, we first need to look deeply within ourselves, at the stubborn parts, at the narcissistic parts, because narcissism is an energy that exists on this planet because, you know, on some level, it exists within each individual, and we have to see where our blind spots are. Anyway, that's my rant for this morning. I'm not saying that I'm not gonna do healing stuff anymore. I will in time, when I feel it's aligned itself, I guess. My original mission with this page, my website, was to help people see their innate ability to heal themselves within. I was only supposed to be a guide, but every single person can do this for themselves. And you're already doing it. If you stumbled upon this video, you're already doing it. You're doing it without even trying. Through the relationships that you encounter in this lifetime, through the experiences that you are living, you are already doing it. So I have nothing to sell. I have nothing to offer that you don't already have. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this feeling. I don't know what to do with the feeling of resentment. And I have to work on that. But yeah, I just wanted to come out and talk through where I was at and see where all you are at. I hope everyone's healthy and safe, and I hope you're doing well. The reality is that it's not an easy situation. Our world is not making it easy for us right now, and yeah, it's time to be real about it, you know? Anyway, hope this wasn't depressing, but I haven't forgotten about you also. I wanted to come on and say hi and talk. Maybe I'll be in a better energy tomorrow, or next time I come on. I'll have a little bit more energy because I didn't sleep very well, but it was really nice to see everyone. And happy March 7th. Bye.